Hi, this is CJ Sings.
And Adriene Fletcher.
And you are watching
Midnight Session.
Hey, we want to thank all of you for tuning in. Hey, season 1 was amazing. And that was our first season, so we got a chance to, get tuned in and everything. So we appreciate you guys, all of your comments and everything. It's been great working with you.
Exactly. And you have now gotten a chance to see who CJ is,
right,
and who I am.
And this is who I am. I might have been something else in the past. I might have been a bad character in the past, y'all. But I have changed, and I thank God for that.
You have.
And life is good. I want to thank everybody, all the supporters that have supported us, both financially and emotionally, spiritually, and all. We really appreciate every single comment that you make. We just finished up our second season, and so you guys are going to be seeing that. And we did advertise that in the fall those shows are going to come out, and they still are going to come out.
Absolutely.
But today, you guys, this is an emergency midnight session.
And it saddens us.
It really does. We're going to be talking about what's been happening in Ferguson, and to our young black men, and to our peace officers, and to the rioters, and we got a few words for you looters too. So we're going to let Adriene just start and take it away.
First of all, our prayers go out with the Brown family.
Absolutely.
Being a mother, it has to be heart-wrenching to be going through that. That is the travesty. And it's so sad that a young individual, 18 years old, is not going to see another Christmas, birthday, see who he can even blossom into. That part is sad. Definitely
our hearts go out to the family, and much respect to you guys, and we have been praying for you guys. We've been sending good thoughts your way, and we hope that the protesting that's going on, that it would be in favor of the young man as opposed to damaging, a case that's already being tried in the press.
So everyone say a prayer for support, to give them courage, and for the truth to actually come out.
Right.
And all you mothers and fathers out there, especially mothers who are raising their kids and single fathers, take your daughters and your sons, hold them, love them, teach them. These babies are not your friends in the beginning. You have to give them encouragement.
Absolutely.
Because you are the foundation that is going to keep those kids sustained in life.
Exactly.
As we all know, we have all been called names.
Right.
And the world at times can get ugly.
Yeah.
But we as parents, we have to guide these kids, show them that their life is of value.
Absolutely.
And a lot of meaning. Do not have any child believing that their life is over with.
Right.
For the past 20 years, we have seen the flip side of it. Our parents were strict.
Right.
There was the curfews.
I was West Side.
I was also.
Yeah.
And just like I had told my kids, and CJ, just like you said, same thing. When we have kids, we basically have 18 years to get them on the right track, to give them the tools that they're going to need to go out in this bad world. This unruly world that love might not even ever cross their paths. But you have to build that foundation, know, and teach them just how important. Teach them love, that you love them. Please, parents, stop. Do not ever split your lips and say that your child is a money child.
Don't do it.
We as parents had decided to bring this child into the world. It's not about a paycheck. Whether it is child support, welfare, or a child being disabled. It's a life sentence if a child is disabled. So please, parents, when you have this child, because they never had asked to come here in the first place, love them and show them how much you love. It's not about them liking you.
Right.
Because if you teach them that I want you to like me, so I'm going to give in to everything.
Right.
What's going to wind up happening is you're going to push them right into the system. So parents, where you open the door in the morning time and not even care where your child is. what you need to understand, the flip side. What's going to happen if you don't teach them? The streets are going to teach them. So either you could have a child that's not going to start out in the system and wind up on the tail end being in the system or being a statistic.
Right.
When my oldest was in the military, like I had told everybody, and I've been always honest, I was in the military. I'm not trying to have a child as a hero. Right. These are not heroes that are losing their lives. What comes down, the media, sure, you have your 15 minutes of fame. You get out there, they'll do the interviews, but your child is forgotten. They're a statistic. So we need to come together to try and find a solution. Like I had told my youngest, how we were raised, there was our parents, the neighbors, the teachers, the pastors, all the adults that was there. The main thing that they were teaching us is to think. Right. We were latchkey kids. And with the baby boomers.
Before the word came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Baby boomers, we were left with our own devices all day.
Yeah, it's true.
Number one rule, come in when the light comes on.
West side, get your
We didn't
your ass
have
home.
everybody to stand over us and tell us what to do.
Absolutely.
We had created those games.
Right.
Hopscotch, kick the can, dodgeball.
Marbles.
Everything. Yeah. And we played as kids. These kids are growing up. As you guys know, we live in Vegas. That was just a couple of weeks ago. We had gathered food and had fed a family.
Right.
It boggles my mind because this young mother, and I think that is part of the biggest problem. As I said before, and you all heard me on the show, a kid cannot raise a kid because there is no wisdom set in motion. That kid is going to teach that kid how to be a kid, and that will be it. Not thinking about the magnitude, the impact that they are bringing into this world and showing this child. So if you don't dump the knowledge into that child, first 2 important years, it's those first 2 years of a child's life. So if you are not instilling the knowledge, wisdom, that child is going to be taking shortcuts through life. The 8-year-old that we've seen.
Yes, there was an 8-year-old that we had talked to the other day, going to 3rd grade.
Right.
Asked him what 2 + 2 was, and he did not know. So it shocked me right away. It shocked me.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I told him to hold up 2 fingers and also hold up the other 2, and of course he figured out that it was 4. Right after we asked him what was
5 plus 5.
5 plus 5, and the young man said 13, and he was certain that it was 13. So what I say to you fathers, and then just coming off of what Adriene is saying, is that the children, they're not your friends. You are there to raise them. I always had looked at my children, and thank God for their mother too, in doing her part. She did an excellent job. I always looked at my children as God saying, hey, there's 5 kids that need to come down on the earth. Who will take care of them? Who will teach them, lead them, guide them, and protect them? And I raised my hand and I said I would. So therefore, it's my responsibility to take care of my kids. So Nikes on my feet above my kids having something to eat, not going to happen. And so men, I just want to put that challenge out to you, is to be there, protect your kids. My kids did not like everything that I told them. A lot of places that their friends went, they didn't go. And I wasn't going to let them go because it was my responsibility to instill what I felt was right in them. And now I say all 5 are very successful. All 5 are very doing well in life. They even help daddy out. Now, you know they got to be doing real good.
Right.
So, and I appreciate that. So we do this show today because, our hearts are hurting because here's this young black male getting shot in public, and it's not just about him getting shot. We have to look at what happened before. And, there's no footage showing what happened in the car or if anything happened in the car. The facts is that the young man is dead. He's deceased, and our hearts go out to his parents. It is our responsibility to tell our children not to steal. Now, have I stolen in my life? Yes, I have. Have I done wrong in my life?
I did too.
Yes, I have. But it is our responsibility to tell our children not to steal and not to do these things.
Right.
That's our responsibility as a parent. And so, fathers, reach out to your children and take time with them. You know,
get to know who they really are.
And even if you're in a relationship, and we see this so many times, where a woman is dating a man and he's not the father of them children. Well, young man,
you're there.
If you take that responsibility and you want to be with the woman and you want all the goodies and the cookies, hello.
Yes.
Then you need to take out a little time with them and also instill some of your wisdom and knowledge. But if you're a youngster, then it's not really a whole lot you can instill. So the young man, you know, we're talking about the Ferguson, you know, the young man, he got shot, killed in the street. And now we have people that are protesting. Some are protesting in a good way.
Yes.
But then we have the other people that are protesting
in a
bad way. You're looting and you're burning up your own town. You don't want to do stuff like that. So I encourage everybody that's protesting in the right way, keep doing that. Go to City Hall. Go to City Hall and protest there. Marching up and down the street, it's really not going to do anything. You want to go to City Hall where they can feel it, okay? And so it's very important that, you know, we understand all of the facts of everything before we start judging it, before we start saying, oh, he's a bad cop. We don't know what happened. We don't know if the boy charged him. We don't know if the boy didn't charge him. The fact is that this young man did, and they need to protest in peace and stop acting all silly and stuff. And so if you're gonna show up and act all silly, just don't show up at all. And you know, a lot of people look for opportunities to loot. They look for opportunities to loot. They're not trying to be there to be helpful. They say, oh well, I can go in and they were stealing out of the beauty shop. They were stealing hair.
Right. Hair has nothing to do with it. These owners took their hard-earned money, had these shops for you guys to go and patronize them. Stop destroying, burning, all this fighting. It's not going to solve anything.
And so parents, Father, if you have a son that's in Ferguson or in the San Luis area, make sure you call him up or talk to your son, especially if he's a teenager, because he's feeling a lot of pain and different types of emotions because, you know, that could have been his friend and certainly the same age as that young man. So you want to call them and talk to them and let them know what is the right way to do it, because obviously they won't listen to anybody else. So they may listen to you as parents. So as parents, it's our responsibility to talk to our kids. If you think that your kid is down there, please give your kid a call and talk to them and tell them if you're going to do something, then you're going to do it peacefully.
And everyone act as leaders. Even when you see someone doing something bad, just don't join in.
And don't turn your head.
Please don't.
Yeah, don't turn your head. And now, another young man,
23,
has just got shot in East San Luis.
He was killed. Yes.
Yeah, he was killed in East San Luis. And so now here's more rage. So here it is, fathers. I'm giving you that challenge. Talk to your kids. If you know where your kid is at, if you don't know where your kid is at, find your kid. If you have a kid in San Luis or you have a kid in Ferguson, find your kid, talk to your kid, because truly it's going to get worse before it gets better if the leaders don't step up and do something. You have to do something. Pastors, I want to challenge you, and ministers and leaders of that city. Get out, find your people, the people in your congregation, talk to them. Because some of them are on the streets too, and they're very frustrated because they feel like this young man was murdered in cold blood. And the authorities have a responsibility. Let them do their job so it can get done. But as we go out there and we start acting up and tearing up shit, then they're not going to respect anything that we say. They're not going to respect anything that we do. So you have to be realistic about this. If you go up there and you start tearing up stuff, then they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. But if you go peacefully and you make your point, then you're going to get across to them that, yeah, these citizens of this this state, they really want to see something positive done. But when you go out there and you start tearing up stuff, nobody's going to think that you're serious. They're not going to take you serious. So absolutely, they bring in law enforcement and bring in SWAT. Right. And what was the other brigade they brought in?
Oh, National Guard.
The National Guards.
Right.
And so they're not out there to protect you. They're out there to hurt you. So you have to be wise, okay? You have to be smart. They're out there to protect themselves.
And don't antagonize them. Not one bit.
Yeah, if they tell you to keep marching, just keep marching. Don't sit up there and say, well, I'm just going to do what I want to do and just try to get your 5 minutes and 2 minutes on camera, because you'll be the next one laying down in the street dead. And we don't want to see that for nobody.
And now, people, every 2 years, there's an election. Every 4 years, presidential. I encourage all of you guys to start getting up. If you really want change,
if you want to see change,
if the vote is not working, I'm from Gary, Indiana. When I had my kids, I seen my kids and I knew that I wanted something more for my kids. I wanted to have the opportunity. I uprooted them and moved them someplace else. You can always do that. If you are thinking that your child is going to be a statistic, I encourage you, pack up and move someplace safe.
And start over. Because
standing ground to have our kids wiped out is senseless. It makes absolutely no sense.
On the city voting, you were mentioning that every 2 years and then 4 years for the president election.
Right.
Ferguson, there's 66% of African Americans. If you 66% vote, you actually will get the person in that you want, because 66% is actually the majority. So you want to get out there, you want to vote. I know it doesn't seem like it makes a difference, but it really does. But it really does. Every single vote counts. And so, guys, please stop tearing up the area. Stop acting like you don't got no sense, because you know your mom and your daddy hopefully raised you better than that. Parents, reach out to your children. They're out there and they're mad, they're angry, they're confused. They need someone to talk to. And I don't make any excuses for the police officer, nor do I make an excuse for the looters and the rioters. We have to have this done in a peaceful manner.
Right, because it's only going to get worse.
Before it gets better. If
no more lives. No more lives.
Yeah, we don't need to see any more lives taken.
So now I have only one other thing I need to talk about.
Go right ahead, and then we're going to sign off.
The Browns' attorney, in order for this case to go through smoothly, they hired you to do a job, giving blow-by-blow information on TV. It's not helping the case. It's going to hurt the case.
Absolutely.
If you notice, the police officer, his attorney, is not getting on the media saying anything. Every time that this senseless crime takes place, because any time that a child is getting killed, it's senseless.
Absolutely.
Our attorneys that you decide that you're going to elect to represent you, actually that you hire, they have to do certain things. Telling the media, telling anyone that is watching TV what you have found or what you disagree. It's nobody's business. So if you would please close your mouth and wait until it goes to court. The parents, of course, during the interviews, because everybody's heart is going out for these parents.
Yes.
But for the attorney, please, I have had several attorneys. They're not blasting the information that they gather. What they do is they call me in their office. We communicate. They explain what route they're going to be taking. Move forward. And you want me to tell you something? I've won every single case.
So basically, all of the discovery that you're getting, and we shouldn't be telling you this just as laymen. Don't give out your discovery. Keep that to yourself, and then when you get in a court of law, then you want to start,
and hit them with the refrigerant
and showing your discoveries, because I feel like this is the same guy that represented Trayvon, and we saw what the end result was. That so, do I think they should get another attorney? Absolutely. Get someone else that's more comfortable. And you know,
you are so nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
competent.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So
because it's not about what the world sees and their input. The bottom line is, it's a court case that is going to be built.
That should be handled
indictment,
in
and
court.
There are proper procedures,
right.
And it's find you other attorneys. And I'm sorry, but I'm black also. Find you other attorneys that can represent you to get the job done. Because bottom line is, you are winning. Justice is going to be served. So you don't want to have it dismissed or him not found guilty if he is guilty on a technicality.
Exactly. So all of your discovery, as I said before, keep it all hush hush until you go into the courtroom. And you should know that, and we're just trying to encourage you, man. We want everybody to be all right, but if you do things like that, it's not going to be all right. Okay, so anything that's not evidence, leave it out. Anything discovery, keep it to yourself, and
gather it and get prepared.
So we just wanted to come today, and I know everybody's heart is heavy. Everybody's mind is wondering. We've been watching this on TV for the last 3-4 days or 10 days actually.
Blood pressure getting up.
Yeah, people are getting excited. You know what I mean? So we want to try to encourage, again, all the fathers, contact your children that you know that they're in that area. Please talk to them.
And tell them that you love them.
Calm them down and let them know that there's a proper way to go about it. Now, we have some older men that haven't matured yet.
Correct.
And they're in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s, and they're out there doing the same thing. If I see somebody else kick another police car, if they get out and they shoot you, what you gonna say? Oh, I only kicked the police car. Don't.
It's not worth it.
Do that. Don't do that. And it's very important that you understand this now before it's too late. Because once there's a gun upside your head and a bullet in your skull, then you're going to be dead, and that's not what we want to see of any of you. So yes, Midnight Session is coming with our new shows in the fall. But we felt like it was very important for us to come and say something concerning this, because if we can say something that helps somebody, just think about what you do before you do it, okay?
It takes 1 second.
All it takes is a second.
A second.
To make the right decision and to make the wrong decision.
Right.
Hey, you that are tuned in, that like the show, we really appreciate it. We would love to hear from you. My name is CJ Singh.
And this is Adriene Fletcher.
And this is Midnight Session, and we thank you guys, and good night.
Good night, love.